Yokoso. Hello and welcome. My name is Vince and today we'll be having a look at the latest Rurouni Kenshin manga. While its official title is Honō Suberu Rurouni Kenshin Uramaku, the friendly people over at Viz have dubbed it Aku no Kioku, or Master of Flame, fitting for the story's main villain, Makoto Shishio, who, well, controls flames. Sorta. The first chapter was released in Viz's weekly Shonen Jump issue 33. It starts with introducing readers to Makoto Shishio, a feared swordsman who killed as if he was the devil himself. His very existence was erased with the end of the turbulent era. As the flow of time continues, we get introduced to our favorite courtesan, Komagata Yumi, or rather Hana Homura, the top courtesan in Yoshiwara, who seems to have been hired by Shishio. Hoji, Shishio's trusty advisor, gets upset at the establishment's, well, can't really call it a brothel now, can I, request to remove their weapons. Yumi makes a remark and teases Hoji. Is this your first time in the red light district? It's not a place to show off the swords at your side. Or could it be that you're insecure about the sword between your legs? Shishio responds that he has no intent on sleeping with a woman he has paid for, and that he has collected 10 of the finest swords in Japan, for whom he will be waiting right here. A week later, things are going as usual in the brothel, apart from their special guests. Yumi tells Hanabi, another courtesan, to take care of the room with the man with the weird eyebrows. The courtesans have been doing errands, cleaning and serving Shishio and his men meals, basically acting as housemates. She tells Shishio that if the customer doesn't dish out a banquet now and then, their purses don't get any bigger, though she remarks that just because her family were merchants, money isn't everything to her. Her family and servants were murdered by burglars before the restoration. She had no place to go, and was bought by a man who sold her to Yoshiwara. Shishio is not interested in her backstory, but Yumi continues to say that she still doesn't know who the burglars were, but that for some strange reason all the bodies had sword wounds and burn marks. Then Sojiro pulls a ninja move, playing hide and seek with the two kids that live at the brothel, Akari and Kagari, who cry out to Yumi that they don't like the mummy man. Stop playing around and get back to work. I am working. You know how fast I am. Shishio asks Sojiro what Hoji has been up to. Haven't they been staying at the same brothel? Sojiro tells him it's business as usual for Hoji. Construction on our base of operations is going smoothly. Arrangements for provisions is going smoothly. Procuring weapons is going smoothly. But Hanabi asks Hoji if he likes boats, then starts dishing out a song. Then telling him that the madam, Yumi, likes boats, always talking about a boat Maria when she gets a little drunk. Hoji wonders if Hanabi means the Maria Lutz incident, which was a diplomatic incident between the early Meiji government and the Republic of Peru over a merchant ship with Chinese laborers. Hanabi responds that she doesn't know about such things because she isn't so smart. She did sew on a missing button from his jacket though. Their conversation is interrupted by some ruckus in the streets. The Wadatsume Kohedan, Shark Troops, who are a group of young civilian soldiers who were formed when some rich fisherman's son started tossing around money. Of course, Ichigasa Sameo, the leader of the Shark Troops, takes an interest in Yumi and arrives at the brothel, requesting for her to be with him tonight. Yumi tells him she turns anybody away that is related to the Meiji government. Smooth talker Ichigase tells her that if he purchases her contract, then he would be her savior and not her patron, making it impossible for her to turn him down. To which Shishio steps in. Who are you, her patron? What do you want? Nothing much. Get out of the way before I piss all over you. To which Ichigase lunges out at Shishio, shoots him in the head and slashes at him with his saber. Or so it went in his mind. He continues to mock Shishio. Those scars prove you are a loser. It is not about samurai or patriots anymore. It's the era of soldiers. We are going to make this country strong. Women, children, even losers. The weak can leave everything in the hands of us winners. Ichigase ends by saying he will be back next week and that Yumi should prepare to be his by then. Sojiro remarks that he was wearing a sword underneath his cape, wondering if he paid more than Hoji, because they weren't allowed to keep their weapons. He was giving off quite a bit of bloodthirst. Hanabi, Akari and Kagari rejoice that someone wants to buy Yumi's contract. A week later, Shishio meets up with Yumi at a shrine. Giving thanks for your redemption? Unfortunately, I'm not accepting it. I say no to anybody in the Meiji government, no matter who it is. Shishio wonders why she doesn't like them and asks if the Maria Lutz incident bothers her that much. The Maria Lutz incident. During the 5th year of the Meiji era, the Peruvian ship Maria Lutz, anchored in Yokohama, was identified as a slave ship. The Meiji government freed the slaves in a trial and garnered recognition as a humane nation. Meanwhile, Peru responded by claiming Japan's red light district and licensed prostitution was equivalent to slavery. In a quandary, the government issued a makeshift Emancipation Act that was almost inhumane in spirit to settle the incident. It stated, "Prostitutes have been robbed of their personal liberties. They are no different from cows and horses. It is not reasonable for man to demand payment from cows and horses. Therefore, they shall be freed without charge." Yumi tells him that it only made things worse, with the government's statement that prostitutes are not women, rather they are female animals. Shishio tells her he doesn't like them much either, as Yumi continues saying she's a well-known courtesan in Yoshiwara, not intending on being bought at market price. Her price has to be at least 4 times the market price. Shishio sees right through her. For, to cover your protege Hanabi and the twins, you can crawl out of this life if you're alone. You won't be able to escape this life of shame if you try to take 3 girls along with you. Ichigase returns to the brothel, asking to see Yumi. One of Ichigase's companions remarks that he has a missing button that he should get fixed as they have an important negotiation coming up. Ichigase asks Hanabi to patch it up. Unfortunately for the young courtesan, photos of a battleship, Purgatorium, fall out of his jacket, to which the shock troops take action by stating that even the smallest leak will not be tolerated for the negotiations of purchasing the most critical piece of arsenal. Women, children, or the weak shall not enter the world of the strong. Yumi tells him she's not stupid, explaining to Shishio the fate of a courtesan when they die. They are wrapped up in a straw mat and tossed in front of a temple, as per tradition. She has been there since the days of the Bakumatsu, so it doesn't matter to her anymore. When Hanabi was sold to Yoshiwara in the Meiji era, Akari and Kagari were born there during the new era, shouting out loud and asking who is to blame. Is it wrong to wish for happiness in the first place? No. Everything you just said is wrong. It's got nothing to do with any of that. What's wrong? There's only one answer. It's because you guys are weak. In the end, this world is about survival of the fittest. If you're strong, you live. If you're weak, you die. That's it for the first chapter, to what it was a bonus chapter on Shishio and Yumi's first meeting, the preparation stage for Shishio's military force in the main story, and minor things that seek to bring even more meaning to these characters' backstories. It was a great first part of this prequel story, showing how Shishio met Yumi in Yoshiwara, the shock troops' presence to further strengthen Shishio's philosophy on survival of the fittest, Sojiro joking around and collecting the Juppon Katana, Hoji working relentlessly on strengthening their military might, the appearance of the Rengoku, all of it contributed to the original story in some shape or form. I wouldn't like Rurouni Kenshin to receive more of these prequel stories, as most of the main story's characters have already quite a detailed backstory, shown in the original manga. Out of all the Juppon Katana, the only ones that were left out a bit and could have used some more backstory were in fact Yumi and Shishio. By the end of the next chapter, those that still don't understand Yumi and Shishio's love for each other will get another chance to see what it is that makes their love shine brighter than a burning flame. Hello all, hope you enjoyed this video. Wow, I haven't done any uploads in a long time. As well on the main site, RuroKen.com, and post on our Facebook fan page. As you've guessed by now, I've been absent from RuroKen for a while, which has absolutely nothing to do with a lack of interest or any plans on abandoning the site. I've mentioned this on our Master of Flame Chapter 2 update on the main site. A website hiatus is most always caused by personal reasons. Hey, life can be a complicated mess sometimes, and I won't bore you with too many details on why mine was for the past month or two. The important thing to remember is that when we get beaten down, we just have to get right back up and keep on going. I will say that I've been in the preparation stage on moving, yet again, but all for the better, into a more productive living and working space. I thank everyone who has sent me messages through Facebook, YouTube, the forums and email. I am slowly crawling through all of them and will respond to each and every one. Thanks again for watching and see you next time. Support RuroKen.com by subscribing to this channel, sharing our videos with friends, by becoming a member of the forums, or even by donating to us on PayPal. All donations are used to cover server maintenance, hosting fees, licensing fees, website improvements, and more technical stuff. You can get into contact with me through the comments below, by sending me a direct message through YouTube, or mailing me at vince@ruroken.com.